You're like gold, you're like diamonds. You're a picture of perfect timing, babe. Them stars must have been lining up the day that I met you. You're like a bird on a wing. You've been teaching me to sing of the gifts that love can bring when you let it come to you. Yeah. Eyelashes making wishes, does that make me superstitious? Babe, your kisses are so delicious. I thank the good Lord every day. Well, you got a voice just like a song, and I just wanna sing along to your sweet melody in a tender harmony. Yeah, now you're the only one who can make my heart beat like a drum, to your voice like a song. You got a voice just like a song. Well, there's nothing that I'd rather do than walk hand in hand with you all along the avenue. There ain't nothing quite so fine. Them stars in that evening sky, they pale to my baby's eyes. Didn't take me long to realize like a diamond you do shine. And you're a sweet melody and a tender harmony. Yeah, now you're the only one who can make my heart beat like a drum, to your voice like a song. You got a voice just like a song. You're like the sunny side of the street. You make my heart skip a beat to your sweet melody and a tender harmony. Yeah, now you're the only one who can make my heart beat like a drum, to your voice like a song. You got a voice just like a song. Voice like a song. You're like gold, you're like diamonds. You're a picture of perfect timing, babe.
No.
Why don't we do a take two?
Wait a minute, let's start again. Hello.
Hi, this is Ron Vodry.
This is Alex Nussbaum.
This is Jason Fraser.
This is Matt O'Brien.
Hey, this is Ray Zwicker.
All right, world. My name is Cal Post.
Guys, this is Christina Walkinshaw.
This is Eddie Delaseppe.
This is Adrian Spencer.
My name is Timo.
And you're listening to the Julien Dionne
You're listening to the Julien Dionne Comedy Hour podcast.
Who am I talking to? What am I doing?
Julien Dionne Comedy Hour.
You're listening to the... some
Comedy Hour. See, I took the word out comedy. Changes the meaning completely,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Days and not really, I'm overworking, but days in the holidays. Happy holidays. You're listening to the Julien Dionne Comedy Hour podcast.
And aren't we all?
Now broadcasting live and totally uncensored, from Lemon Press Studio in the beautiful Gatineau Hills.
Project. I was like half asleep on the couch and now I'm projecting. Hey everyone, this is Christian Potenza.
This is Gay Trevor Wilson.
This is Jean Paul, a.k.a. the Island Hipster, hashtag hipster business.
This is Steph Tola.
Hey, this is Jake Goldsby.
This is Sky Wallace.
Hey everybody, this is Erica Sigurdsson, aka Ricky Siggs.
Okay, hello. Hi.
This is Howard Wagman.
Hey, this is Peter Anthony, the PA system.
This is Matt O'Brien.
Some people that's my rap name.
This is Jen Grant, and you're listening to the Julien Dionne Comedy Hour podcast.
Show. You and me belong, just like the flowers, laughing all day long. People, I need you loose. Sing a little song, then take a shower. Julien Dionne.
It's a show. It's not an hour, it's a show. It's okay.
Such a beautiful waste of time. A waste of time. A beautiful waste of time. A waste of time. I went to school, yeah, I learned a lot. Got a degree in what I'm not. You spend your life looking for what you already got. It's such a beautiful waste of time. A waste of time. A beautiful waste of time.
Here we go. Welcome, yes.
A waste of time. Wandering eyes and
Welcome, everybody.
I'm just a thin
All right, here we go. Let's pull it together. Following this own show.
Yeah. What's wrong?
Oh, this social dilemma got me to delete the Facebook app from my phone, but that's how I share the show, so it's not anywhere right now. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
Hold on.
The social dilemma made me do it. The dilemma is The dilemma is, do we want to share?
All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Hold on, I just knocked the camera over.
Oh, jeez.
Frantic.
Oh, what a morning. What a time to be alive.
Oh, my God. That's our show, everybody. Good night. All right, welcome to the show.
Good thing we have this wonderful soundtrack.
We do have this glorious soundtrack. Welcome to the Julien Dionne Show. We are live on a Thursday morning, Thursday, September 24th, 2020, broadcasting to you live from Lemon Press Studios in the beautiful Gatineau Hills. Hey.
Hey.
Of course, we are live, as we are Mondays through Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook and Periscope and Daily Motion, and there's one more, Twitch. And then available on demand wherever you get your podcasts.
Love it.
Apple, Google, whatever, Spotify. We're there. We're everywhere. Thank you. Welcome. Good morning. I don't know how many people are actually going to be with us this morning live because, again, watched the social dilemma last night, deleted my Facebook app, which is usually how I get the word out when I start the thing. And I wasn't quite able to put it out everywhere that I wanted to, but whatever. We're here, and people will watch us. Can you share it? If you are watching with us, can you give us a share? And Jenny, can you share it?
Of course, I share every day, sister.
Sister friend? We have no viewers right now, but
Yes,
it doesn't
we do.
matter.
Yes, we do.
3.
No, we have 5. Don't worry. Don't
5.
even. What?
Well,
that's often how it first starts.
All right.
This is the very, very beginning.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you to all 5 of you for being there.
No, 6. Stop that. Stop that. That's like doing a small show and stand up and then
addressing
it. Yes.
I know. But
Come
whatever.
on.
All right. Moving on. Welcome.
Frazzled.
Wow. I'm mad at myself. Jeez.
That's okay.
It's so funny. I sit down here and I'm so zen in the beginning. Everything's great. I've got my coffee that I'm back on, that I'm loving, and I'm sitting here and I start the show. And then this technology that now, as we've learned last night, is designed for good, but will ultimately be our
demise.
Demise, yes.
Well, take a breath in. Maybe it's time for one of those zen moments that you haven't done in a long time. Remember that music?
What do you mean?
You know when you used to do your meditation?
Oh, what was the music I used to pick for that?
I don't know. It was like really, best because you've got your list there.
Okay, let me hold on. You're right. Let's start with a visualization.
I love it.
YouTube. Let me go on YouTube and.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's start. Let's forget all this.
Yeah, clean slate.
We had a great show yesterday with medium Sandy Harmer. So we'll keep that energy going.
Oh, if you didn't catch it yesterday, you've got to
go check it out.
Oh my gosh, it's really good.
It's fun.
Everybody I spoke to who heard the show was like, I could have listened to her all day long.
Yeah, it was good times.
Very interesting.
All right, let's turn the light off.
Okay.
Welcome. Today I'm going to be guiding you through a beginner.
I don't want that. Sorry, whatever your name is.
Oh, this is making you more frustrated.
Just give us. Anyway.
What about your list of songs that you usually sing to?
See if this works. I don't know. I just Googled something quick. All right.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are.
Whenever you are.
This is all happening simultaneously. Time is but an illusion. Good morning. Thank you for being with us. Close your eyes. Listen to the sound of my voice and the random cackle by Jen. There's one. Wispy.
Wispy. Raspy.
Raspy is the word I was looking for, I think.
Have another cig.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay. I don't remember any meditations I've ever heard with someone burping.
Embrace the natural processes of your biological being, such as burps or toots. Whatever will happen, just embrace that your body is doing what's best for you at all times, and it knows what it should do next to perpetuate your constant well-being. So just have faith that everything is working for you and not at you. Good morning.
You're not you.
Breathe in and remember that people will bother you today. People will annoy you. And just learn to acknowledge that you're better than them in some way. And breathe out and feel
Oh my God.
the release of the anxieties of the world, and just breathe in.
You just breathed out, though. You just said breathe in and then you breathed out.
That's true.
Not to judge. Am I heckling meditation? That doesn't seem right. You're like, breathe in.
Learn to accept criticism as insecurities in others.
Oh,
and
okay.
Learn that once again you are better than everyone. And
This is not the worst meditation I've ever heard.
Why?
I don't know if it's relaxed you.
It's making people feel better than others. Isn't that the point?
No.
Do yourself a favor and tune into an episode of Hoarders or Intervention and feel better about yourself. It could always be worse. Listen to the sound of my voice and remember that. All right.
Oh my God. All right.
But speaking of self-help, I don't think there's any way to. I love personal development and all that stuff, as we know, but I don't think there's a worse way to wake up when you're so tired than someone pushing it on you, like this morning.
What did I do?
No, but I could. You wanted me to wake up to do the 5 a.m. club, and I had a bad sleep. And when someone's like, "Come on, get up," and all positive, you want to do the opposite. I'm like, I just want to.
Whoops.
No, it's all right. It's just like I had a bad sleep. Actually, it wasn't even bad. I take that back. I woke up at 3:30 and took a 2.5 milligram thing.
3:30?
Melatonin, because I'm like, it was a toss up. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Either I get up now and I'm up at 3:30, or I take a very mild, small dose of melatonin and sleep another an hour and a half solid until the alarm goes off. It was 5:09 or 3:09. So I took a melatonin and fell asleep hard, but when the alarm came on at 5.
Yeah, you're grouchy.
I just wanted to stay in bed. And then you're like, 5 a.m. club, let's go.
I never said the 5
No, I know,
a.m.
but it
club.
was implied. It was like, that's why.
Not true.
Lights on, everything.
No. You had said that you wanted to start, you absolutely wanted to start getting up at 5.
I know that. But when you're so tired and decide not to, and then the other person's like turning on the lights and being like, let's do it, and positive. Because you were all positive. It's all good.
Yeah,
great,
and also, can I just mention?
It makes you want to do the opposite, is my point. Yes?
Well, okay, fine. But here's the thing about like changing what you're doing as your routine is that, in the moment you're not going to feel like doing it, but you still have to do it. Like, so yeah, fine. I get that you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Keep talking. Go ahead. In the moment.
I get that you're tired and everything, but that's how you change, right? You're not always going to feel like doing it. Like when you first start getting up consistently at 5, you're not going to be like, oh, this is easy. You just have to do it.
You're right.
Anyways.
Was that it? Oh.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I know. But it's just like you don't want to be forced into it when you're really tired. It's the last thing you want to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We watched The Social Dilemma last night.
We did.
And scary.
Yeah, I found it actually scary.
It is messed up. It's just, if you haven't seen The Social Dilemma, it's one of the top trending things on Netflix, and it just talks about how basically the AI and algorithm and all those things and all of the platforms that we use on a daily basis and that are essentially addicted to are designed and have now outsmarted us and are now getting more intelligent by the day and are designed to better themselves by each moment to manipulate us into scrolling and keeping us on our phones and addicted and hooked.
Yeah.
So anyway, I deleted Facebook on my thing. I really want to try to do that because it is insane where it says like.
Well, can't you share from your laptop if you just have
Yeah, I was trying, but it's all different. So it's like, oh, it's not the same. And on my phone, you can share to a bunch of groups at once. I couldn't, anyway.
So what if maybe you're just not used to doing it, but like, tomorrow and going forward, maybe you can just like set aside a couple extra minutes?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But so this documentary is basically Silicon Valley people that have worked in numerous companies, Facebook, Google, YouTube,
Twitch,
Pinterest.
No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so it's all people from those Twitch.
Well, just because that's usually in your speech.
Oh.
Anyways.
Yeah, Twitch though, that's included in that. It's all of the big tech companies are.
Actually, I found that made the documentary more powerful,
more credible. That it's all these people.
Incredible is a better word for it. It really, like, so many too, not just like one.
Yeah,
it was so many.
It was all the talking heads in the documentary are ex-employees of these giant tech companies, it's insane. Shit, I lost my train of thought. What the hell? I'm so distracted by everything this morning.
Yeah, that's okay.
Anyway, they just basically break down the effects of social media on us and how it all originated really legitimately as a good thing to do good. For example, the guy that invented the like button is on there.
Yeah.
And he says it was all just to spread positive vibes and good feelings about it. Nobody would have predicted where this whole thing, where we're at with it, because and they're trying to pinpoint what the problem is and who's at fault, and there's no one person, because genuinely speaking, a lot of these platforms were designed and launched to help better the world. And it's turned into this thing where, for example, the guy that invented the like button, he's like, never would we have ever even fathomed that people would, teens would commit suicide over not getting enough likes. That's how shit has escalated.
So crazy.
To where they would have never predicted any of this. And even this is one big common thread that I've heard before watching this the documentary. We're talking about the social what is it?
Dilemma.
Yeah, the social dilemma. One thing I'd heard before is often you'll hear of the employees of these tech companies will often forbid their children to be on. Like the top people at those platforms that know the effects of it and know the manipulation behind it. They often forbid their children to use screens or any social media.
Well, I think everybody who was on that documentary said that their kids are not allowed to be. They don't even have devices. Like I know everybody I know with kids, the kids have iPads and iPhones earlier than they want them to, only because it's such a complicated, layered thing. Because even if you have the best intentions as a parent, all of the other kids that the kids are hanging out with have them too. So you remember when it was like when you were a kid and everybody had like the running shoe that you really wanted, or whatever it was that every other kid had it. Then you didn't have it. Then you felt like an outsider. And when you're a kid, you don't get it. Like they're so immature that all they want to do is fit in. And it's a very hard thing to navigate for parents. Like I would like to think, well, you know what? Having said that, one really good thing about growing up, when people always say like it's a great place to raise kids, Wakefield is an amazing place to raise kids. Like here, kids like in our neighborhood, the kids run around in bare feet, like playing on their bikes. There's tree houses. They're outside. Like you actually really see it. I don't see the parents on their phone either.
Right.
Like we have a lot of neighbors that are very outdoorsy. They're in their gardens.
I don't see any of them on the phones.
Yeah, like I know our neighbors. One in particular, we've spoken about this at length. I've never seen anyone on their phones except for using their phone like a tool, like calling, or if you've got to shoot a text to someone, but no one's scrolling. Like, it's very much, so what I'm trying to say is if you raise your kid in an environment where no one else is doing it anyways, there's no temptation. Like,
you don't think they'd get those temptations at school and everything like that with their friends and all?
Not here, not as much.
No,
because I think Wakefield is a collective sort of, what do you call that? Like an identity or a collective. It seems to me there's a collective ideology of very like hippie sort of. Like hippie's not the right term, but it's like.
I wonder though how many
New
kids
age
in the
hippie.
street we see playing during the day actually have like spend screen time. Like I'm sure
They probably want to.
Sure, they're on at some point. But the point of this documentary is to show how these big tech companies are in the business of selling human futures. It's so crazy when they put it that way. It's like
that's great. That's heavy.
And one of the guys was saying, for me, it's like he's quoted to say, he's like, we've because they're controlling our behavior without us knowing, right? So they're kind of literally altering the way we think and our actions with these algorithms And one guy that used to be the ex-president at Facebook said, he goes, this is right up my alley because I'm a hacker, and what we're doing is essentially hacking the human mind, where we're capitalizing on vulnerabilities in the human psyche without them knowing. And so we're
so crazy.
We're utilizing and taking advantage of that for profit. We're doing this consciously, and we're okay with it. It's this whole kind of moral debate. And it made me want to really get rid of it. It sucks for us because we're kind of in an industry that you have to. I mean, the podcast right now is live on Facebook, on YouTube, on all the ones, and we want people to watch us. We want people to be on there. And we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, literally everywhere.
But you know what's cool?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You weren't finished your point.
No.
Go.
I totally was.
Okay. You know what's cool is that at the real heart of this podcast is a podcast. And when you look at going to Apple Pod, going to get wherever you get your podcasts, that doesn't seem to be the kind of manipulative platform. So really, ultimately, that we could exist on just that and just promote our business.
Gotta promote it.
No, I understand.
You gotta engage with people. That's the way it's designed. If you don't, nobody sees it. And people...
What if you put yourself on like a time limit? Like we were talking about that. Like you don't scroll, but maybe you go through and like only follow what you really want to, you know what I mean? Like use it as a...
Yeah, I'm going to set myself a social media schedule where, for example, Facebook will come on 3 times a day to promote the show, maybe post something, same as Instagram, but I deleted it on my phone, so I'll only go on the computer, although Instagram, I think you have to have it on your phone, but I don't know. I want to try to do the bare minimum with social media, and because anytime you go on it, you never, ever, 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 ever feel better after.
No.
And lately I've been really bad on it, as far as just because it feeds into, and if you have the tendency to procrastinate where you give yourself these little mental vacations, social media just feeds that because it's so easy to just completely take a break, open social media, next thing you know, an hour and 20 minutes has gone by. You're like, what's happened? And that's time. The only thing we have is time. And we're staring at these screens, and it's very... I don't know. It's very Black Mirror dystopian-esque, where we are now. Not even in the near future, now. When they show... So the documentary, if you haven't seen it, again, we're talking about the social dilemma. It's a documentary, but they also have like a movie part of it where they follow this family. It's just fiction, and these actors...
Yeah, I like that part.
And it's so sad to see them at the table when the mom, for dinner they put away all their phones, and you can feel it. You can feel that it's all uncomfortable without the phones, and it's like, this is actually right now the world we live in.
Yeah, I was
it's
thinking.
Like, yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, go.
No, nothing. I'm just. Go ahead.
I was thinking about like what did we do before our phones, and I was trying to remember when I first started doing stand up. I guess I didn't even have a cell phone then. That was a long time ago. And I remember, what did I do? Like, I'm really trying to think about it because...
TV, a lot of TV.
Yeah, TV, but also... Yeah, TV. But also, I feel like we hung out a lot. People used to play, like, I know it sounds crazy, but like card games, and like you actually would... I'm not saying we'd play card games every night, but, there was more like things to do. It was more like... Yeah. You'd meet for drinks and you'd talk. And I remember this one pub that we used to go to all the time in Ottawa, and it's still there, Lieutenant's Pump. But there used to be like, shuffleboard, and most bars don't have that, but you could play pool. I don't know. I just feel like you were more engaged, a little bit more engaged in life, and it wasn't perfect. And I know TV was kind of like what the internet is now. Yeah. But you didn't take your TV with you when you went out. You know what I mean? Like you went to a pub, you sat there, and there was nothing sitting on the table that was distracting you.
The one part too that was creepy in the documentary was how they were like what you're looking at when you're looking at your phone, you're facing off against this hyper intelligent supercomputer that's got all of the data in the world, that is basically squaring off against you to try to keep your attention as long as possible. And it knows, the more you use it, the more it knows what to show you next to keep you engaged.
Oh, that's so creepy.
You're competing against that with your basic human brain that has not evolved in the time that the computer has. So that was the kind of through line of the documentary, is that the fear that people have that AI will take over and it's not something of the future. It's actually happening now, where it's not necessarily in the form of them taking our jobs and such, which does happen in certain industries, but just the fact that they've taken control of our subconscious habits and kind of can manipulate them to change the way we think and legitimately change our futures. And it's insane to think about.
Yep.
It's almost too much. You don't understand. And the fact that, and this is how efficient it is, and this is how we're powerless against this big, the algorithms are essentially, because the algorithms are designed, they're coded by people, but then they essentially take on a life of their own where they get better and better and smarter every day at finding things and suggesting things and recommending things that will keep you scrolling mindlessly. And it's funny that all these red flags were brought to light by people in the industry. Like we said, all the talking heads of the documentary are people that were high up in all of those big tech companies, and then they're like, there's a huge problem. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And it just goes to show how, and then they tackle the element of truth, and because now there's so much fake news, because there's a lot of money in fake news, and how conspiracy theories, they were using Pizzagate as an example of...
Had you heard about that before?
Yes.
Oh, I hadn't.
And they were basically, if you have any sort of inclination towards clicking on any sort of conspiracy theory at all, the algorithms are now going to show you more conspiracy theory things. And so Pizzagate was recommended by algorithms to, I don't know how many millions of people, for impressions where they saw it. So a lot of people that would never have seen the word Pizzagate, but tend to lean to explore conspiracy theories, were shown by algorithms Pizzagate. So people explored, and then all of a sudden it's perpetuating this huge conspiracy theory, and people don't know what's truth and what's fiction. And we don't know. And then they talk about the pandemic right now, it's happening, the misinformation. And then, so if we can't all agree on what truth is, we're doomed.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this too before on the podcast, how like both sides, the polarization is, the gap is larger than it's ever been before. And both sides legitimately believe, it's a truth for them that the other side will destroy life as we know it.
Yeah.
So,
well, didn't one of them predict, like, somebody asked a question like, where do you see this going? Like, what do you think could happen? And they answered very seriously, civil war.
Yeah, because people... Anyway, watch The Social Dilemma. It's really scary, infuriating, and it makes you want to... At the end, they tell you ways to fight the algorithms and this the direction where we're going in one way, which you wouldn't even never think of, but it's like, don't watch recommended videos, find your own. And if you notice, the longer
and
you
like things you don't really like, so that it can't guess who you are, and keep it guessing.
And it's so messed up, because the longer you use social media and you're on there, the better they get at predicting what, again, will keep you watching. So then the recommended video, I'm noticing that on YouTube and Facebook, the watch list, the up next videos that are recommended are right up my alley. Whereas before,
You wouldn't even
It would have been anything, but now it's like, oh yeah, I would totally watch that. Yeah, I'll watch that. And then you get in these rabbit holes, and like I said, next thing you know, a couple hours have gone by, and it's like, oh my God. Anyway, remember when this was a comedy show?
Oh, hilarious. This is just killing me over here. There was a couple really good quotes that I thought were profound. Well, there's lots in there that was really profound. One of them was, it's like it's a product.
Mm-hmm.
We're the product.
Yeah.
Humans. And it's something that's never really existed before and inherently is changing our behavior. So like, for instance, if you think of any other product, like just an example of a product was like, or a thing, a tool was a bicycle. A bicycle is something that you just, go in and use when you want to. It's not affecting your behavior or changing the way you think. And
right.
It's grown into, actually it's funny because when you were saying in the beginning that it was never meant to be this thing, but it's like it has become its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was only in the social media world and in the drug world are people called users.
Yeah.
I like
it's
that
software companies and the only two industries that customers are called users are legal drugs and software.
Right. And then a couple other things that Laura agrees with me. She said the Civil War comment broke my heart. Absolutely. And then Laurent actually said another quote in there that I really like too. If you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Those were the next words out of my mouth.
Well, we'll never know for sure.
Well, we are the product and we're all doomed. But
Hi. Good morning, everybody.
Take a deep breath and realize that at the root of your subconscious is a warehouse full of servers that are
oh my God, that disturbed me.
Dictating your next moves in life, socially and professionally, and what you're gonna. Yeah, I know that was disturbing.
I loved the. It was very creative in the way that they demonstrated what happens to you. Like they were using one guy in the movie as an example, and how what's happening behind the scenes. And so there was like 3 actors watch it, but there's like, or this one actor and 3 different guys talking to each other. Like, anyway, it's too confusing to try to explain. I just realized as I was trying to do it, but I love the way they demonstrated it because in the
really
end
creative.
you're like, oh, okay. It was really.
Oh, okay. We're all gonna die.
Good morning, Miller. Miller says
Yeah.
good morning.
Morning, Miller.
We're starting very, I don't know if, Miller, if you've seen Social Dilemma, but it's...
Yeah, we're talking social dilemma this morning and all things depressing.
But it's good. It's actually, it's one of those things that's depressing, but also encouraging because information is power, right? Once you know that and you think about it that way, it's actually less depressing because you can feel a little bit like you're taking control of your life.
And it's so funny, like
right?
a lot. Yes, exactly. And a lot of the people on the show were like, these tech people that worked were like, to your point, where information is power, but we're also powerless to it. That's how smart and well designed these things are, because these people that know all that still go home and are addicted to their cell phones.
But they're working on it. Like they're aware.
Yeah, but they know. But still, remember the guys that said, we're like, even though I know this and know all the back side of it, I go home and I can't stop looking at my phone.
But didn't he say that he used to do that? I don't think he does.
No, there's a
anymore.
few people that said we're susceptible. As the designers, we're also susceptible to those things, to checking notifications and getting...
Well, I was telling you yesterday or the day before that since the beginning of 2020, I've been trying to break the habit of looking at my phone just at night. And it has been extremely challenging. Like, it's so addictive.
Well,
It's
while we're watching
messed
this,
up.
we're pausing, and I'm like, my phone is burning. It's just like I can see it in my periph, and I'm like, I just want to check real quick. As I'm watching this horrifying documentary about how we're controlled and addicted to our substances, and they're designed that way, I was like, still like, Let me just check. Quick.
Yeah, but to be fair, you were checking a group message, which, it is a great tool. Like they say that in the movie too. There's some obviously amazing good things about.
Can I not take an hour and a half off?
Yeah, of course.
And watch.
You know what the key is? The key is putting it. It's kind of like when you're on a diet. Don't have chips in the pantry because you're gonna eat them. So,
well, a guy said that. He said I turned my notifications off for the same reason I don't have cookies in my pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I like to do is take it completely out of the room. Actually, in the movie they have this food safe thing that they showed is a real thing on Shark Tank, where people are pitching products, and one of the products was food safe or something like that. And you put like cookies in a safe in a container and put a timer on it so that you can't use it. So same idea, just turning off your phone. We should have like a little, we should turn off our phone and plug it in and put it in the guest room and just keep it in there.
Oh yeah, one of the guys said and
I'm going to get a good alarm clock.
Yeah.
Start using things that aren't on the phone. Like I want a good camera.
Yeah.
Stop taking pictures with my phone. So have multiple products so that you don't always have to be grabbing that phone for everything. Cause that's the reason such a smart design. Everything is there, even a flashlight. For fuck's sakes.
One of the guys said he's like 1,000 times I've told myself not to bring my phone in the bedroom at night, and at 9 o'clock he's like,
Yep.
And so that's how. Even this morning when I woke up, I'm like, I really had to fight to get on my phone. Thank God we watched this last night, so I'm like, at least we'll have something to talk about. Because usually I go on the phone to look for things to talk about on the show, but I often get distracted.
What about if you use your laptop? You won't be as distracted.
That's true.
I think you just have to start using your laptop more.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's simple. It was simpler times when people just got a newspaper delivered to their house.
I know. Well, that was one thing they talked about too. And at first, like when all these big changes happened, that when newspapers came out, people were kind of addicted to that.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being addicted to a newspaper? That's
well,
weird.
Not addicted, but it would be like you'd. Now I'm questioning what I'm saying.
You just see people walking around with all those stained fingers.
But there was a quote somewhere about the with rubber thimbles on.
Paper cuts. What else?
But it just goes.
Did you deliver newspapers when you were a kid?
No, I did not.
I did. And it was heavy as shit. The bag, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I remember getting the job thinking, oh, this will be great. I'm going to make my own money. Oh my God. The bag I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to carry this bag around as like a 9-year-old child? It was so heavy. You don't understand. And then you had to stuff, like you got delivered I think it was actually the penny saver. There was this it's like Kijiji basically in a classifieds, all classifieds, and you'd get it delivered, and then in a separate bundle you'd have flyers like coupon, like flyers, and then you'd have to stuff all of them. So I'd have to like stuff all of these penny savers with the flyers, and then you'd put them all in a bag and walk around the neighborhood with this heavy as shit. You don't understand how heavy this bag is. And I was like crying because I had made this commitment, and my dad was like, you committed to this, so you have to do it. And I was like, ugh! Like I'm like this little child with like a 50-pound bag crossed over my shoulder. And that was only like a portion of them. I had to come back and get more. It was like insane. So one day I actually admitted I started to get a little bit clever. So I thought I was clever. I took all the flyers and the penny savers and I dumped them in a dumpster and said I delivered them.
And did you get busted?
Oh yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that person that's like, "Where's my penny saver?"
Yeah.
I was expecting it. It comes every Tuesday or whatever. Miller said, JD, you're thinking of the great quote about them saying the same thing about TV, newspapers, new technology.
Right. I knew there was something in there somewhere. But anyway, it's a really insane documentary.
I can't believe you never delivered newspapers.
No, never. I lived in the woods. There was no newspaper routes.
Yeah, but what about
There's no newspaper routes in Skiduk.
Okay.
Nobody delivered.
Surprised.
Well, you're really on this newspaper delivery train.
Well, because I kind of forgot about it. You know, when you forget about a memory of yours, and then I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I did that. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
My first job.
Oh, the first job. Anyway, watch The Social Dilemma. It's really good. And maybe we can all be off social media, except weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern. Never mind. Because this show, I'm encouraging people not to be on social media, but this is on social media. But the misinformation stuff was really shocking, how like we don't know what truth is. And I came across this other article, kind of related, but where this guy perfectly explains how absurd someone sounds when they try to deny science with common sense. And he uses this the analogy of chess to just kind of, and Jen, I showed you this the other day, to just show how actually stupid we are.
Okay.
In general. And so I'm just going to read this. It started as a Facebook status that went viral.
Okay.
By a guy named Tom Denton. And this kind of ties into the thing, the social dilemma, but it's based on the misinformation thing. Here's some facts about how stupid we all actually are. The average adult with no chess training. Okay, really try to follow me on this one, wherever you are, where you're watching. It's going to be a little wordy.
Uh-oh.
I need your attention
All
for a minute and a half.
Oh, that's not too bad. 90 seconds. I can do that.
You too, Jen. I need you.
Except
Don't
I
check.
can see the comments in the
don't.
lap.
No.
Yeah.
Don't. Please.
No, my eyeballs want to look
Can
so
you
bad.
reduce the brightness or something?
Oh, I
don't want to read all this and then nobody's
It's
listening.
pulling me, though. It's pulling me.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
go.
social dilemma. You're controlled by all the notifications.
That's why I was saying it.
I know. The average adult with no... Okay, so here are some facts about how stupid we all actually are. The average What?
It's just funny how stupid we all actually are. It's like good news. I can't wait to hear how stupid I am. Okay, go ahead.
The average adult with no chess training will beat the average 5-year-old with no chess training 100 games out of 100 under normal conditions, all right? Average adult will beat the average 5-year-old 100 times out of 100. Now, the average 1600 ELO rated player...
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's a rating in chess.
Okay.
The average...
It's probably good.
Yes, we'll get to we'll it'll all become clear in the moment. If you have questions,
I already feel stupid.
The average 1600 ELO rated player, who will probably be a player with several years of experience, will beat the average adult 100 games out of 100. A top, quote, super grandmaster will beat the 1600 rated player 100 times out of 100. This distribution is pretty similar across domains which require purely mental rather than physical skill, but it's easy to measure in chess because there's a very accurate rating system and a record of millions of games to draw on. Here's what that means. The top performers in an intellectual domain outperform even an experienced amateur by a similar margin to that which an average adult would outperform an average 5-year-old. You follow me?
No. Say it again.
Okay. The top performers in an intellectual domain. Okay,
Yes.
so in this case, the top super
I got that
grandmaster, the
part.
top performer in an intellectual domain, outperform even an experienced amateur, in this case, the 1600 ELO.
Yeah.
So the top performer will
Of course.
experience will outperform an experienced amateur by similar margin to that which an average adult would outperform a 5-year-old.
Okay, I got that.
You follow me?
Now I do, yeah.
That experienced amateur might come up with one or two moves which would make the super GM think for a bit, but the chances of winning are effectively zero.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So again, the top, the
I got
ELO
it.
player, 1600, might once in a while pull something out of his hat or her hat that will throw the top super GM, but the chances of winning are zero.
Okay.
What's actually being measured by your chess ELO rating or LO rating is your ability to comprehend a position, take into account the factors which make it favorable to one side or another, and choose a move which best improves your position. Do that better than someone else on a regular basis, you'll have a higher rating than them. Follow me?
Yep.
It's just breaking down the LO rating. So the ability of someone like Magnus Carlsen, Alexander Grischuk, or Hikaru Nakamura, I can't even pronounce the names, what's my rating, to comprehend and intelligently process a chess position surpasses the average adult to a greater extent than the average adult's ability surpasses that of an average 5-year-old. Okay, so these grand chess masters that I just named, that I have no clue who actually they are, they comprehend and intelligently process a chess position. It surpasses the average adult to a greater extent than the average adult's ability to surpass that of an average 5-year-old. All right?
Okay.
So given that, it seems likely that the top performers in other intellectual domains will outperform the average adult by a similar margin. And this seems to be borne out by elite performers who I'd classify as the super grandmasters of their fields, like, say, Collier in music theory, Ramajan in mathematics, and their respective domains. Their ability to comprehend and intelligently process domain-specific information is apparently, although less quantifiably than chess, so far beyond the capabilities of even an experienced amateur that their thinking would be pretty much impenetrable to a total novice. All right? So meaning, again, the top performers in intellectual domains will, their thinking would be pretty much impenetrable to a total novice, let alone an experienced amateur, let alone a total novice. All right?
Okay.
This means that people's attempt to apply common sense, i.e. untrained thinking, to criticize scientific or historical research or statistical analysis or mathematical model of an economic policy is like a 5-year-old turning up at their parents' job and insisting they know how to do it better. Imagine it. They would not only be wrong, they would be unlikely to even understand the explanation of why they are wrong, and they would cry, still failing to understand, still believing that they're right and that the whole adult world must be against them. You know, like the quote researchers on Facebook. That's where relying on common sense gets you. To an actual expert, you look like an infant having a tantrum because the world is too complicated for you to understand. And that, my friends, is science. Did you follow me?
Yeah, I did.
So that's what...
I like how inherently that whole, what you just read, was very hard to understand. So it's like, it makes a good... No, but it makes
heady, but it's...
Yeah, but it makes a good point by it being hard to understand. Because if you can't even really understand without heavily concentrated and focused attention on what you just read, illustrates the very point that it's trying to put across.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly.
And very powerful.
But it just goes to show that all the people, to apply it to the pandemic, the anti-maskers, or people that are comparing it to the common flu, they sound like 5-year-olds to top medical experts, health experts, and epidemiologists.
Yep.
You sound like a 5-year-old.
Yes.
But that's not a small percentage of the population. The 5-year-olds are most of us. Most of us are screaming 5-year-olds throwing tantrums. Most of us. The top performing people in intellectual fields are, a very small percentage of the population. And that's where it's easy for conspiracy theories to gain traction, because there's more 5-year-olds going, this has got to be true because look, I'm applying my common sense to it. Right. And then the top performing people in intellectual fields become the enemy, become the they're just doing this. It's like, again, the 5-year-old at the parents' work throwing a tantrum, failing to understand and still believing they're right. And that the whole adult world must be against them. In this case, the whole adult world are the top health experts and epidemiologists, and the rest of us are all 5-year-olds.
Good point.
And we don't know shit. That's why it must be so frustrating or maybe they're just so smart they're not frustrated because they just recognize how childish and underdeveloped we are. But it must be so frustrating on a level where if you've gone to school for 12 years, I don't mean school, I mean like college or university for 12 years,
Yeah.
and have PhDs, and your whole career has been dedicated to these incredible researches, and then you have 95% of the population, which are a bunch of 5-year-olds screaming at each other and crying and throwing tantrums. That's
Very
the world we
true.
live in right now. We're just a bunch of crying babies that don't understand what the hell's going on and think all of these researchers and scientists are against us. And they're simply not. They're just not.
And now, like, when you can Google anything, like I know I have a friend who's a doctor, and he's like, oh, Google's the worst. Because everybody just feels like they can find out information about things and then go into the doctor. And, like, everybody feels like what do you call that, an armchair psychologist or whatever. It's the same idea. It's very and also, like, in the documentary Social Dilemma, when they were talking about how it becomes its own like thing, you start as things are being liked and the algorithms and everything else, and all these 5-year-olds are doing, like you say, are complaining and making, and that's growing. So then that's all people see. It becomes this own big stupid machine that's influencing people in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what is happening in the world? But, I love that they did this documentary so well, because people are going to watch
well
it.
Done.
It's very powerful. It's very profound. Everything is done well. Everything. All the people, the experts, the people who worked, like top VPs and content creators and all that used to work at all the most popular platforms like Facebook and Twitter and everything, and they're speaking out, and the way that they demonstrated the point, and it is scary. Like, the director somehow was able to make you feel depressed and scared all at the same time, which is exactly what you need to feel when you're watching something like that, because it makes you want to change your life. If it's not powerful and profound and sad like that, you're not going to be inspired to have action in your life. And that's why I loved that film. I mean, I hated the way it made me feel because it was depressing, but that was the whole point. That's what art is supposed to do too, right? It's like it's like no one wants. That's the other thing, is everybody wants to feel good all the time, and then in that pursuit end up feeling shittier because they're escaping, but they're not really escaping. It's like, and I say they because I'm talking about me too, because I've done that.
Same.
In the moments that are quiet, and instead, like I've talked about this before, but it is really profound and worth mentioning again. When I first started doing stand-up, I would carry a notebook in my purse. Now, I started stand-up over 20 years ago. I would carry a little notebook in my purse, and when I had ideas, I would write down in that notebook. And when I was like, I was a lot younger then, I'd be waiting for a bus or whatever. I didn't have a car. I'd wait for a bus, or I'd wait for my dentist appointment. I didn't have my phone to fill that empty space with nonsensical bullshit that doesn't make me feel good afterwards. You know what I would do? I would fucking look around. I would look around, and it would make me think. No, but it's true. And I would look around, and I'd have my own thoughts, and I would observe people. I would contemplate. I would think about the day I had so far. I would just be in a space where I could actually create content and be creative. Yeah. And I would write jokes in those downtimes. I find I don't write as many jokes because I'm not doing that. And then I have notes on my phone, which I'm not going to do anymore either. I'm going to go back to old school, writing down notes. Whew.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really
you're
dropped
right,
some F-bombs there.
I know. I used to fucking look around. I love it. Fired up Jenny this
Miller
morning.
said, well...
No, I love it. It's all good.
Miller said, it's like people who think comedy is easy because they are funny too. Oh, yes, Miller. I totally relate to that.
Miller's right. Comedians, we are like grandmaster chess players, and the rest of you people are 5-year-olds just throwing tantrums. No,
Hilarious.
but yeah. So anyway, I thought that was interesting, and that's the thing that's scary is that we do not know what truth is anymore. We're fucked, and it's every like fake news is always now presented with this like, oh, they're going to censor this, so watch this now. And then you watch it, and when it's censored because it's fake news, it's seen as, yep, see, we told you. Big tech is trying to censor. So you don't know what's real anymore. And people truly believe that. They're like, so you don't know where... What's what in the hat, motorboat, and float your boat.
Can you believe that it's 8 o'clock? Okay, go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
8 a.m. already, yeah.
Have that happen now.
We started with a few tech issues.
And here is your daily dose for Thursday, September 24th. We are approaching October very quickly, everyone. So did you see the Prime Minister spoke yesterday?
No.
Okay. Well, from what I can understand, I didn't watch the whole thing, but from what I can understand, it was a lot of the same messages just sort of said in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any huge news, but basically, in a nutshell, he said basically that we have to continue doing what we've been doing, but more stringently, kind of like basically repeating what we did and for the next couple months. So it's not like it doesn't seem that he never said anything about this, but and neither did nothing concrete has come out about any kind of lockdown per se, but that we have to treat this as if it's like mid-March. So he doesn't think that, but he does believe that if we do that, what we did in mid-March, that maybe we could all get together for Christmas. But like, for instance, Thanksgiving is not a good idea if the whole
How does he see that we could get together for Christmas if...
I don't know. He's basically just, I think it was just a good quote. You know what I mean? Like he said, it's all too likely we won't be gathering for Thanksgiving, but we will still have a shot at Christmas. I think he's trying to say if we all really hunker down right now and stay home and not get together with a huge family gathering, that we can maybe do a great job like we did in the first wave.
Right.
Well, as good of a job anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so says that so it said now with 1,000 new cases reported nationwide yesterday, Trudeau said there can be no doubt that 4 of the country's provinces, Alberta, BC, Ontario, and Quebec, are in the second wave of COVID-19.
Fun.
Well, it's good to remind people that fun.
I don't mean you bringing it up. I mean the situation.
Yeah, I know. Why am I taking COVID-19 personally? That's
You're
the
like,
next
well,
level.
I just had to mention. I'm like, no, that's not the fun part.
No, I know.
It's the
I know.
This.
He
sick
said,
of it.
I know. He said Trudeau said that while the outlook is grim, Canada has the tools it needs to blunt the impact of the pandemic that has already claimed the lives of 9,200 people in this country. So we have the power to do it. We just have to keep on following that, basically. And he said that this was kind of cool. He said that record low interest rates make it possible for the federal treasury to loosen the purse strings and spend more to support Canadians at a critical time. He said, well, we're still dealing with this pandemic. I don't want you or your parent or your friend to take on debt that your government can better shoulder. Wow.
Yeah.
But having said that, they're not continuing CERB, but I have to look into that a little bit closer because I feel that they've amended unemployment.
Employment insurance.
Employment insurance. And so that you can still get it, but it's not CERB. I think you have to I think it's maybe more accommodating to self-employed people.
Okay, yeah, because if you're self-employed, you can't get EI.
And in another story, remember that former Hurricane Teddy that was supposed to go into Nova
the
Scotia?
Maritimes.
Yeah, did you hear that it didn't? It was kind of a letdown. It's funny because in the story, it almost sounds like people were disappointed it wasn't bigger. It was really weird. They're like, yeah, it was kind of, it was a little kind of disappointing, actually. That's what somebody said.
Oh my God.
You're sort of looking forward to some good wins. It's like, okay, so.
Someone actually, that's a real quote?
That's a real quote. Yeah.
Good wins?
Yeah. Yeah.
People are insane. That's a 5-year-old.
They said they were underwhelming for some people looking for more of a spectacle.
Oh, come on.
She said Nicole
It's a great
Chorney.
spectacle to watch my neighbor's roof be torn off. I
know.
love that.
I
Insurance
know.
claims all over the neighborhood.
I know. She said Nicole Chorney, who took her 2 kids to check out the large waves at the beach outside of Halifax. Oh, I'm sorry that a wave didn't, crash over you and harming you and your children. In much different news here, Kobe Bryant's widow sues the LA sheriff for sharing unauthorized photos of the helicopter crash. Did you hear about this?
We talked about it yesterday.
We did? I don't remember that.
Yeah. You know what? I remember talking about it and you not really commenting on it, and then we moved on. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday about how this is the world we live in. And no, I'm not ashamed. I'm just.
It's embarrassing though that I didn't hear you.
Okay, well, all right, go
ahead.
I was just saying we talked about it, and then about it kind of went into the social dilemma talk where we live in a world where people take pictures and that clout for likes. The guys, 8 of the sheriff, the deputies were charged with taking or accused with taking pictures on their personal phones to show it was.
I remember now.
Dead people and children, like on the helicopter.
Sorry,
crash. No,
I do
it's okay.
remember now.
I'm not. I'm just like funly in a
I
light
know.
way.
I guess I don't know what's happening with me right now. Okay, listen. Here's a good news story. So, this woman who adopted a bull, like a baby bull, when he was just little, she adopted him and she brought him to her farm. And she began noticing that the baby cow was picking up the tricks she was teaching her new horse. She had a horse, so she has this farm. And he quickly mastered trotting, galloping, stopping, going backwards, and turning around on command. He was even responding to her voice just like a horse would. Despite weighing 1.3 tons, it took just 18 months to teach him to leap over 1 meter high horse jumps in the ring.
See, that's a story I like.
Isn't that cute?
Let's give us a story about an obedient bull.
I know. She said, I've had him since he was a baby, taking care of him since the very early days. I think that bond is one of the reasons that he is so talented, because he, connects with the person who's training him.
Conceited. I think the fact that he's so attached to me makes him so smart.
Yeah. Well, you realize, do you think I should try to send you this video or?
Sure.
Cause
I don't know. Is it of the bull doing things? Yeah, send it. Let's see if we can.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do anything with it.
Says even people working in farming and sometimes really scared around him. Most people, even farmers, don't like to get too close to cows with horns. But once they see his real nature and see him doing the exercises, they often say, oh, he's really quite beautiful. So I think people are usually scared of bulls because of their horns, but this, maybe we need to give bulls a chance. Maybe
despite
the way they view
fact
bulls,
that they're horny.
It's a lot of bull. Oh, sorry, we both did a joke about horny and.
Let me see if this works. No.
I am feisty this morning.
Yeah, feist my geist.
I really am. Do you mind if I take a little quick break, just really fast?
Mid-daily dose break?
Yeah, but it's past 8. See, I have to always have a break at 8 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let me show this video of the bull while you do that. Go ahead right now. Meet the bull who thinks he's a horse. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on the Julien Dionne Show. Today, bull horse. Here's a clip. So this is the bull, this is the horse, and this is the bull acting like a horse, and Side shuffle, side shuffle. Bull is turning around. Very cute. Look at that bull thinking he's a horse. Here he is galloping. See, you never see...
Doucement. Doucement.
Doucement. Doucement.
Tu vas pas me défoncer les clôtures, hein?
It is funny to see a bull act like a horse.
Tu es calme avec lui, parce que là il est foufou.
Every time I see a bull, I think of Kingpin.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
Where Woody Harrelson comes from the barn, he's like, it took me a while. He's got a big bucket of...
Oh, yeah.
He's like, but I finally milked your cows, and he takes a swig from the bucket, and they're like,
Yeah.
we don't have cows. We just have a bull.
Oh, that bull's so cute.
So he was jacking it. Get it? All right.
He was jacking it. Oh my God, that bull's so cute.
Yeah, little guy. Little 1,300-pound guy. Is that it, or what are we doing here?
Oh yeah, that's the daily dose for today.
Daily dose, get the news from coast to coast. Daily dose, all your news from coast to
All
coast.
the news and headlines from Jen Grant.
Oh, I want to mention tomorrow we have a great guest on.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting.
Take it away, Jenny.
So tomorrow we're going to have Charlie Demers on. I know him as Charlie Demers, but seems to me he's now known as Charles Demers. He is one of the smartest comedians in the country.
Great comic.
Very, very, very smart.
Based out of Vancouver.
Based out of Vancouver. I know him because I used to live in Vancouver. And I remember when he started doing stand-up, actually. And blew me away. Like, brand new comic, came out with these brilliant jokes. He's really good. And he's an excellent writer. And he's just written a book. And we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. And he's based in Vancouver, so we're doing our Far West Fridays. So
That's
on
right.
Fridays, we start a little later, which is great. So we get to sleep in tomorrow.
We do. That's
And,
fun.
Yeah. So we'll sleep in a bit tomorrow. Our show is going to be starting at 10 o'clock, as we're going to be doing on Fridays for now, and we'll see how it goes. But I think it's a great idea. So
yeah,
we'll just,
week 2 of Far West Fridays tomorrow with
Yeah.
Charles Demers.
Yeah, it's going to be great. He's hilarious. And so it'll be a really awesome interview and chat. I haven't spoken to him in a while, so it'll be nice to catch up.
At 11 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. At 11:30-ish.
Yes, correct.
Great.
So, yeah, it'll be a little bit later. Usually we'll do the interviews.
show starts at 10.
Show starts at 10, but usually we'll do like interviews 1 hour into the show.
Yep.
So, yeah. But he's doing an interview with CTV tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So we're going to be doing it a little bit later after he's done with CTV.
Perfect. All right. It is going to be awesome. Can't wait for that. So join us tomorrow for Far West Fridays. But until then, you should know this episode of the Julien Dionne Show is brought to you by Gringos Blazing Sauces. Do yourself a favor. Go to gringosblazingsauces.com for hot sauces, grilling sauces, salsas, and charcuterie jellies made with only the best hand-selected, freshest ingredients. Doug Knight and his wife Laura, chef by trade, is obsessed with finding the perfect balance between heat and flavor, and they nail it every single time. This stuff is amazing, right, Jenny?
Oh, my gosh.
We love it.
It's really, really, if you like hot sauce, you've got to try it because it's, like Jules says, it's flavor first, heat
Flavor
second.
Town, Heat Town right after.
And let me tell you, it is heat too.
Heat.
I'm not taking away from the fact that it's hot. It's freaking hot.
Free shipping for orders over $40 in Canada, but they ship all over North America. And on top of that, listeners of this program get an additional 5% off by entering promo code JD5 at checkout.
Who doesn't like saving money?
Who doesn't like? JD5 at checkout gets you 5% off. Free shipping for orders over $40 in Canada. Ship all over North America. GringosBlazingSauces.com. Gringos, do yourself a favor. Do the hot sauce lover in your life a favor. And just go there.
Yeah, do it. What are you waiting for?
What's the problem?
Like, what exactly is the problem here?
What is that? Well, this was a fun episode, Jenny.
Oh my gosh,
Good
it went
job.
by in like 2 seconds.
Well, you were great today.
Well, you were.
I was frustrated by the top, and I felt it the whole day.
The whole day. Well,
I gotta let these
You're great.
technical glitches just water off my back, but it affects me every time. It's so frustrating.
Understandable.
But anyway, we're learning, we're loving.
Oh my God, you're way less frustrated than you used to be. Remember when
Yeah.
you used to get so mad?
Well, it's uncomfortable to watch, I realize after.
It is.
All right, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you watching us live as we are Mondays through Fridays on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Dailymotion, and Twitch. And then available on demand wherever you get your podcasts, Google, Apple, Spotify, wherever that is. Jenny, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I love you.
Well, thank you. I love you.
Thank you so much. Delete your social media accounts, but continue following us somehow. Share and do all that good stuff. Enjoy your day. We'll be back tomorrow for Far West Fridays with Charles Demers at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Can't wait. It's going to be great.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Thank you. Enjoy your day. And as always, watch your head.
Waste of time. I went to school, yeah, I learned a lot. Got a degree in what I'm not. You spend your life looking for what you already got. Such a beautiful waste of time. Waste of time. A beautiful waste of time. It's just a waste of time. Wandering eyes and itchy feet. I'm just a thin, nervous shadow walking backwards down the street. The landing is bitter, but the falling is oh so sweet. It's just a waste of time. A beautiful waste of time. It's just a waste of time. The whole world wants a piece of my head, but they all get a piece of my mind instead. I roll over and go back to bed. It's such a beautiful waste of time. A waste of time. A beautiful waste of time. It's just a waste of time. A beautiful waste of time. It's just a waste of time. A beautiful waste of time.